Hey, welcome to the Empowered Coach podcast. I'm your host, Richard Dale, and this podcast is for coaches and personal trainers. And the idea behind it is coaches come on and share their stories, share their journey, with the hope that inspires and empowers other coaches. So I'd love to welcome Jordan onto the podcast today. Hello, Jordan.
Hello, Richard. You all right?
Fabulous. Thank you. Enjoying the one last day of summer, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it is.
So I'd love to start just finding about you, like who you are, what you do, kind of what your journey's been so far. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Jordan. I'm an online coach. I'm doing this alongside my full-time 9 to 5 job at the moment. So I've literally only just launched my business in June of this year. So I'm still really new to it. Coaching is something that I've wanted to do for ages, but just never really had the balls to go for it. I was just a bit too scared to put myself out there, I suppose. I had a powerlifting coach for the past 5 years and I absolutely love working with her. And I've always thought, oh, do you know what? I want to do something similar like that and to help people. Yeah, back in May, June time, I thought, right, I'm just going to put this out there on social media. If I tell people I'm going to set up a business, then I've got to do it. So I just made a little logo on Canva, I got on my Instagram and was like, right, that's it. I'm getting into coaching. I want to help people. And the thing is, like, I've had it a lot over the years where people at work or friends, they're always asking me for tips and advice on, like, they see the foods that I'm eating on my Instagram, like, oh, had that recipe. Have you got any tips for this? And what can I do in the gym? So I'd naturally kind of been helping people like that, but never really done anything more with it. So thought, right, I want to give it a go. So set it all up. Didn't really know what I was doing. There was lots of Googling, like how to set up a business, trying to get it all sorted. And I launched and it went well to begin with. Like I had people interested. I was like, okay, great. And then it kind of got to a point like a couple of months down the line, like, oh, okay, actually, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I need a bit of help. So actually very recently, as much as like 6 weeks ago, I got myself a mentor online who specializes in helping female coaches to sort out their businesses and launch them. So I started working with her and things have been going really well ever since then. She's kind of given me the insight that I need to know how to like get my business moving in the right direction. And yeah, I've had so many great chats with people online recently and it's kind of filled me with confidence as well because I wouldn't have said like a few years ago that I was that confident of a person, but just kind of putting myself out there and like just making these connections with different women, it's really fulfilling and yeah, it's been a success so far. Got quite a few clients signed up in the last 3 weeks actually. And yeah, I'm buzzing with it at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that the end goal will be like, I want to do this full time. It's something that I really want to pursue. I find it really worthwhile. And I guess the kind of women that I'm working with, it's more like beginner level because I remember what it was like when I first started on my fitness journey. And I didn't know where to go, what to do. And I was trying out every fitness fad around there. So I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes along the way and learnt a lot. And then I can then help people who are in the same position. So yeah, I mostly work with women who are living the 9 to 5 life like me. And I think they kind of like that because they resonate with me. So they know that I lived that lifestyle. I know how hard it is when you're stuck at your desk all the day. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a few months to be honest, but it's going well and I absolutely love it. It's really good fun.
Amazing. Really great to hear you like make that jump and also just kind of throwing yourself in at the deep end as well.
Yeah.
I think so often we can get caught in the trap of like everything has to be perfect
Yeah.
before we take action, you know, have to have the leaflets, have to have everything sorted, and you just kind of end up procrastinating on it and always finding
Yeah.
something else to do. So I think like to just almost learn as you go and just put it out there is it
Yeah.
one, it's really brave, but also I think it's like it's just the right thing to do and you gain momentum as you
Yeah,
go.
definitely.
Um, and also like working with a mentor, I think is so important. Like every everyone needs a coach. I think like the
Yeah.
reason we have jobs as personal trainers is because people mostly need the accountability and they need the structure. They kind of know what they need to do. And it's no different with like online coaching. It's like everything is out there. We kind of know the tactics and like what to do. We just need someone to like A, tell us what to do like one step at a time, and two, keep us accountable for when like that resistance comes up as well. So really, really pleased to hear that it's going well. What were some of like the things you were struggling with before you like reached out for help? Really interested to know. I guess like one you touched on was like things maybe started to slow down, but was there any other things like you felt like you were struggling with?
I think it was a case of I had too many ideas and I thought that I needed to provide a million different services and put on loads of different things for people to get the interest and to get going with it. And I guess I thought that was the best way to go about it. And I didn't really know which idea to run with. So then when I started working with the mentor, she was like, hang on, let's just take this back to basics. Let's just get one package in place first. Let that be your bread and butter. Let's get going with that. And then when you've built the confidence and you're working with people consistently with that package, then we can look at putting some of the other ideas into practice as well. And I think it was mainly just having a structure to what I was doing. And she's got all these like training modules as well of webinars and things that she's put on with clients before. So in my own time I can watch through some of those things, so I feel like I'm consistently learning stuff. And also around just like finding people to talk to. Like I was absolutely terrified to send a message to anyone on Instagram through fear of thinking I was going to annoy them, come across as one of those silly people that's like in your DMs. But then when we talked through it, and it's like, it's just a conversation. Like you're not trying to get in there and sell something to them straight away. You're just trying to get to know them, see if there's anything you can help for free, offer some free advice, and just kind of nurturing people. And when I kind of changed my perspective on like why I was messaging someone, I thought, actually, yeah, it's just casual. It's nice. And then like obviously there's loads of people who still very suspicious and they'll just completely ghost you. Okay, that's fine. And then you'll get others that are like, hey, and then like all the people that have signed up with me, I kind of get this gut feeling about them from the instant that we start messaging. You just know when you're going to get on with someone. There's that vibe there. And it's the women that are very open and honest about their situation. And then like I can relate to what they're saying and the conversation just flows. And then it's like, well, do you want to have a call to have a chat about this? And then again, it's a no pressure thing. It's up to them if they want to sign up to something. And if I can signpost them to something else or give them some free resources just to help them on their way instead, then that's absolutely fine too. So it was around, yeah, those sorts of things really. How to find people to talk to, what to actually say to them so you don't come across as an absolute weirdo, and just, yeah, slowing things down and not trying to do 100 things at once is
Mm.
what's helped me the most, I think.
Yeah, that's a great insight. And actually, just talking to people is the biggest thing that
Oh,
holds people back in the gym as a personal trainer on the gym floor and online. And I think it's scarier online because, like, in person, if you're in the gym, you can pluck up the courage and go and talk to someone and you know that you're going to get an answer back. Whereas, like,
yeah,
online, most of the time you're probably not going to get a reply. And then we can get in our head and think, oh, God, like that fear of being rejected starts to
yeah,
play in your mind a little bit. But I think you're definitely right. It's about intention. And if you reach out with the intention of like, I want to get this person into a conversation so I can find out what their goals are and sign them up, they can like sniff that energy
yeah,
like a mile off. They can read it. But if you go with the intention of like, I just want to help as many people as possible and just
yeah,
like see where people are at, understand where they're at, and see maybe I can give them some advice. And if something comes of that later on,
yeah,
then great. And if it doesn't, like also great. And I
yeah,
think when you spread your positive message like that, then that energy attracts back to you and people will start to come to you like because
yeah.
they're not scared of approaching you because you've been that kind of olive branch that's reached out to them first.
Yeah, and actually a couple of people that did sign up, they were saying like, I'm actually really grateful that you did message me because
Mhm.
like some of them had followed me for a while anyway, but they said they never would have reached out to me. They would have been too shy to do that. So it was like, okay, who's going to make the first move? And they're glad that I popped into their messages basically and said hello and had that conversation with them.
Nice.
So that's yeah.
Is there anything you hate about social media?
To be honest, I try and keep my own social media full of more like positive posts because there's a lot of unrealistic things on social media, I find. But I think there has been a bit of a shift recently. There's a lot more of those posts where it's like, I'm not an influencer. I'm not here to influence you. This is what real life looks like. This is what a real, I don't know, house, body, whatever. This is what this really looks like in reality. And I find that quite refreshing, as opposed to the completely staged, like
Yeah,
perfect stuff that people are trying to show. And I mean, I'm my own worst critic anyway when it comes to my own content. I'm always thinking, oh, is this actually any good? That's another thing that I try to get out of those conversations, just like some feedback on like, is this stuff relevant to you? Have you got any suggestions for things that I could create content on that would be relevant? And I've had quite a few comments saying they appreciate like how real my stuff is and that I'm just basically myself and I'm not trying to come across as someone that I'm not. So that's quite nice as well. But yeah, I think social media can be quite toxic at times. So you've
mm,
got to be careful with your doom scrolling on there.
you do. Yeah, you definitely do. I always say, like, you want to be the creator, not the consumer.
Mm.
And if you are consuming, then consume with the intention of creating, you know, get ideas, but don't, yeah, definitely don't doom scroll because
Yeah.
your feed will be full of other online coaches that you perceive of being ahead of you. And then
Yeah.
suddenly you start thinking, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, you know?
Yeah.
But I definitely think I agree, like, there's a move, and I talk about this a lot of like just being more real, being more authentic. And from my experience, coaches that try and kind of live that fitness influencer lifestyle, like aspirational lifestyle,
Mm.
they don't resonate with the audience and they don't build that connection. So often they'll have a ton of followers, but they're not signing clients because they haven't brought the right people in, and there's that kind of disconnection. Whereas you can have, I think, a really small audience, but if you're real and you resonate with the people in there, then you'll have a healthy business and you'll have clients coming to you. Um, with the clients like you love to help, what are some of the things that they might be struggling with before they come to you?
So a lot of the common things, I suppose, is well, ultimately they're sat at a desk for about 8 hours a day and they're very guilty of not taking proper breaks, not eating their lunch away from their desk, either not eating because they're so busy they forget to go and grab some food, or by the time they know that they're hungry, they'll be going down to the kitchen and just grabbing fast snacks, crisps, those sorts of things out of the cupboard. So there's a lot of people that complain about like mindless snacking, as they would refer to it as, kind of like poor digestion, I suppose, where they're eating too fast the food at their desk and it's not digesting very well. They're living quite a sedentary life because, like, sitting at the desk all day, they're not getting in a lot of movement or steps. And the main thing is it's usually around motivation, to be honest. Like they want to do something, they want to make a change because they're not happy with where they're at the moment, but they just lack that something to get them started. And that usually stems from, actually, I'm not too sure how to fix these eating habits. I'm not too sure what I should go and do in the gym. So that's where that's the sort of things that I would work with the clients to talk through, try and find out exactly which parts in particular of that is relevant to them, and then kind of put an action plan in place to help work with it. So I'll obviously sort out their training for them, and that's always based around their current lifestyle, what time they've got, that sort of thing. And then the nutrition side of it, I'll offer a few different options. So again, it's completely personalized to whatever's going to suit them, basically. We can go down the usual, like, I'll work out your calories and your macros for you. You can go away, have a go at trying to stick to that. We'll see how things go. If they think, actually, I need a bit more like a meal plan type thing, then I'll offer a couple of options there. If they personally think that they would benefit from a very strict meal plan, I can put that together. Or my preferred option would be more of like a flexible one. So I'll be like, right, here's your breakfast, here's your lunch, and a snack. The calories that are left, you can choose what you want to eat with that. So it's just whatever approach works best for them, to be honest. Because me personally, if I had a full on set meal plan that I was trying to follow every day, I'd struggle with it. I like to eat different things each day and kind of figure it out myself, with like my calories and macros. So Yeah, it's all about just having those conversations with the women, just find out what's going to help them the most with whatever the main problem is. And then, yeah, that regular check in, that regular conversations during the week just to see how things are going. And then I can make tweaks as we go along. And I think that's what most of them like the most about it. They say that like having that extra support and that accountability is what keeps them going with it. And I do find that the ones that are the most engaging and asking me questions are the ones that learn quicker, and they get really good results through working like that.
Would love to know a bit more about your journey and kind of like where you were before you got into fitness and like the sorts of things that you got into fitness wise, which I guess led you on the path to becoming a coach.
Yeah. So I've always been interested in sport and fitness. It's something that I studied at college, but then life happens. I didn't take it any further, and I ended up in various jobs and then desk jobs. But I had my daughter in 2011, and even like many years later, I still hadn't really done anything about the mum tum, I suppose. And I thought, "Do you know what? My fitness is rubbish. Like, I can't even run up the stairs without being out of breath." And it got to a point where I was like, no, I can't carry on like this. Like, I need to make a change. Like, I need some fitness. I need to do something. And it kind of just sparked from there. So it was like back in maybe like 2016, I think it was. And I remember, I'll always remember, it makes me laugh every time. I thought, right, I'm going to take some starting photos. So then when I have this amazing transformation, I've got something to look back on and see how far I've come. My girlfriend took this picture of my back profile for me. I had like these, like, I don't know, these like love handles or whatever on my back just there. And I was like, is that actually what I look like? Like, I didn't even know they existed. We were like creasing up laughing for about 10 minutes after. And I was like, right, well, they've got to go. Like, I've got to work on this back profile. I don't want to be looking like that. And then it just escalated from there. And I was very much, I suppose, your typical cardio girl. I thought the only way to lose weight and to get fit is to run. Like, not once did it cross my mind that I could go to an actual gym and lift some weights. I was like, no, I'm going to be a runner. I'm going to start running. So I did that. And along the running journey, I did the HIIT workouts, the Joe Wicks stuff off the YouTube channel. I followed the bikini body guide. It makes me cringe, the name of that now, to be honest. Like, you don't have to have a bikini body. But anyway, all things like that. And I didn't really stick at any of those things long enough to see a proper difference. But I suppose where I was running quite a lot, I had no idea on nutrition either. I was probably very underfueled, to be honest. And the weight dropped off. And at first that's exciting. So I'm like, oh, the number on the scale is going down. This is great. But then it gets a bit toxic and it's like, okay, well, let's just lose a little bit more, lose a little bit more. And I got very slim, and I'm a petite girl anyway. And I was then like, this isn't a good look. Like, actually, I want a bit of muscle on me now. So I finished running after I ran my first marathon. I did the Brighton Marathon, and I was so ill afterwards for like 2 weeks. I think running for 5 hours straight, jiggling all my insides about, didn't do me any good. So I was like, no, I'm done with the running. And then it got to around COVID time, that was it. So I've got a garage in my house, and in COVID, we were all sent to work from home, and it was looking like longer and longer before we were going to be going back to the office. So I thought, I might as well make the most of this time. Like, I could turn this garage into a gym, and I can get some equipment in there, and I can train before work and try and do something like that. Probably not the best time to go out and buy a load of fitness equipment during COVID because it was ridiculously expensive, even secondhand stuff, but kitted it out anyway. And then I thought, right, I'm going to teach myself to squat, deadlift, bit of bench, that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, I'm quite enjoying this, but I think I need a bit of guidance, a bit of direction with it. And that's when in 2021, I signed up to get a powerlifting coach. And then that just snowballed from there, really, because I absolutely just fell in love with the sport. And no longer was I thinking about like being skinny or anything like that. I was like, no, I'm enjoying getting stronger. Like, I just want to keep getting more weight on the bar and like really push myself and see what I can do. And then I started entering competitions, and long story short, in 2024, at the British National Championships, I came first in my weight class. So I was the British champion
Wow.
that year. And that was just like the best feeling, to be honest. I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. And I've just, never stopped training since then. And it's just, I feel like it's a really empowering sport, and it's getting like more and more popular with females as well. But I always say, like, on my Instagram and stuff, because like I don't want people to think that just because I'm really into powerlifting, I'm gonna sign someone up and then I'm gonna treat them like a powerlifter and make them do all this stuff. Like, I very much work with beginners who just want to know what to do in the gym and what the equipment's for, that sort of thing. But I mean, if someone wants to start squatting and deadlifting and stuff, I'm definitely here for that. I'll help them with it. Yeah, so that's kind of just my personal kind of fitness journey over the years, and how my mindset has just really changed around training.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think there's the misconception with like powerlifting and weightlifting in general that if you're a female and you pick up a weight, you're going to go
Yeah.
and just
I wish it was that
be
easy.
like this big butch. Yeah, I know. The reality is it like takes years to develop a bit of muscle.
It does.
How long did it take from when you first started in COVID to become British champion? What was the
So
time?
that was 3 years.
Wow, that's pretty crazy to like just go into a sport not knowing anything and then be a British champion within 3 years. That's mad.
It literally is mad. It blows my mind when I think about it, to be honest. And I hadn't had the best prep up to that competition either. But I think that's why it went so well, because I had no expectations. I thought, I've had a bit of back pain that's put me back for quite a few months in my training. I was having issues with my digestion at the time. I had to go on that low FODMAP diet, which was god awful. It seems to be one thing after another. So I just went into that competition like, well, I've earned my place here. I'm just going to show up, see what happens on the day. And then, it was a brilliant result. It's madness, but obviously pretty happy about it.
Amazing. Jordan, it's been so good to talk to you. I've really, really enjoyed it. And I think like I always say people by people, and it's your personality that sells. And like I can see how when people talk to you, like you'll just light them up, and I can see your empathy as well. And I think they're the two key things. It's just being like a nice, likable person and having empathy, and the rest you can learn in terms of coaching skill, but you can't really learn those things. They come innate. So I think you're going to build a really, really good coaching business and quit that Monday to Thursday job. Anyway, so good to have you on the podcast. Wish you the best with your business.